Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and about things that make me. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Well, hello. How's everybody here this morning? Goodness sakes, Monday morning. I'm trying to get stuff packed up for shipments today. And I've been at it since 4 o'clock and I hit the wall. I thought I had enough and I don't. So now I got to go out and do some collecting. It's going to be a busy day today. So I may be cutting it short at 10 o'clock because I've just got so much to do. To go to Tampa this evening for the Tampa Club meeting. So I'm excited about that, but I need to be able to be back and have things all together in time for that. Well, let's see where we are today. Oh, what's going on? Oh dear. Home. That's what. Okay. Let's get into it here and see who's here. Say hello to everybody. Oh, we have Chevy Fish right at the top. I think I've got more over here. Karina Koresh. Hello, Karina Koresh. Naresh. Hello, Naresh. Marky 0306. Hello, Marky. Hi, Color Copies. And Alexander Kuzniatsu. Alexander. Hello. Glass Fox Fox. Roman Sharrock. And who else? Chevy. Glass Fox. Xanadu. Hello, Xanadu. Joshua Miller. Hello. Duco. Hello, Duco. Hannah Robinson. Rohan. Chris Japan. Canistio. Guppy Grass. Susan. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Hey, Marquis, Canistio, Guppy, Rohan. And there's someone from Greece with this name spelled in Greek lettering, which I can't read. So I don't know quite what to do about that. Now let's get live chat. See where we are today. Fish Fam on a Monday. Indeed. Sky Bliss. Hello, Sky Bliss. All right, so we got 38 watching, 17 thumbs up. We're 18 short on thumbs up. Oh, we're 22 short. Let's get down and hit the thumbs up button, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whichever you prefer. 20, we're getting there. Okay. Canistio says, can't wait to try and type hi to the Greek guy. Alexandra Ozdoba. Alexandra Ozdoba. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Groom Greece. My name is Costas. Hello, Costas. Welcome. Catfish. That's funny. Is that catfish, Terry? That's catfish. Hello, hello. Mercy. Let's see. Who's here? Been here before? Sky Bliss has been here before. Let's get a wrench on Sky Bliss. Who else is brand new? That was it, except for these, the Greek contingent. Oh, Chris from Japan. Chris Japan. Welcome to you, Chris Japan. Welcome to our morning forum. Make sure I'm in live chat. I am in live chat. Thank you, Naresh. Oh dear. All right. Canestio says very creative Chevy fish. Costas Mead. Susan says the Greek name is Costas Mead, M-E-I-D. Duke already at 804,000. Yes, 805, 8.05 actually. It's been kind of bouncing around this weekend. What are we talking about today? Well, it depends on you. It depends entirely on you. The stream is defined by the chat. So whatever you want to talk about is what we talk about. I don't bring an agenda. I don't bring any specific plans. I may have some, one or two ideas that I'll throw out there. But by and large, the stream is really up to you. I got my camera down low today. Tell me what you think about it. I can cut these lights on too. That will help cut down on the there. That should be better. Cut down on the light vibration on the camera. My name is David, but everyone calls me Canistio is talking to Costas. Imre Van Balgui is here. Hello, hello. Nice to see you, Imre. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you back. Guppy grass galore guy. I'll be moving 2 fairly large angelfish to a new 20-gallon. How long should I wait before I put them in? Deep substrate, sponge filter, be squeezed, cycled sponge in it, and plant. So long as there is no chlorine in there, you can put them in right away, guppy grass. In fact, I recommend you do so. Just move them in. I usually say day 2. Duco liked the vibration. Oh. Said, leave the lights on. It looks awesome. Vipin Barol, I'm feeding very less, as suggested by you, but my Danios are getting skinny and thin. Danios are heavy feeders. They move around a lot too, and they're generally a larger fish. You may need to feed a bit more for them. They're not a bottom feeder, so they're looking for food in the water column. So that would be a fish that would be an exception to the rule. Danios really are going to require feeding, regular feeding. Let's see, you're feeding a little, feed a little more because they're going to get the food first anyway. They're up there right at the top looking for it. Just feed a little bit more than you are. You don't want your fish getting skinny and thin. Canisia finally saw the video about the resurrection tank, so I've decided to pull mud and aquatic plants from my koi mud pond. Excellent. Very intrigued by this project. It's a lot of fun. I think everyone who tries it is going to get different results, but it's something that everyone will get results from. It'll really depend on what's living in your local water, the luck of the draw manages to allow you to collect. Just a lot of variables, but you can also add to it. You know, if you see a little bunch of decaying leaves in a pond or a stream, a little water area, grab that handful of decaying leaves and throw it in there. The whole idea is to see life coming out of death, life coming out of muck, coming out of refuse, coming out of what's trash, what's waste, what we consider to be worthless. Alexandra, I'm feeding a lot less than I was, but I can see water improvement. Once a fish get food, they eat everything because they are hungrier. Well, that's true. That's absolutely right. So you're going to have less waste, less sitting in there. So that's absolutely right. Jean Campbell is tearing down and replacing a tank today. I just jumped past her somehow. My dog was getting his ball, managed to get himself under the rack. This morning, the bottom of the stand is wet. Can I use the existing substrate? Yes, absolutely. Just put it in and give it a new cap, a new sand cap. That's the easiest way. Just use whatever you've got, put it in there, add a new sand cap to it. Unless you're real careful separating the sand out when you take it out, you can do that. You might want to add another inch or so of sand, new sand, anyway, just to make sure you've got an adequate cap. Alexander, I love it. How many tanks are too many for a hobbyist? Well, now, this is something everybody needs to pitch in on. How many tanks are too many for a hobbyist? Well, I can tell you this. When I decided to open a store, I had 100 tanks in my home. Lucas he doesn't even know how many. Hundreds of tanks. Virtually every room is full of tanks. It just depends on how bad the disease is, I guess. How many is too many? When you reach the point where you absolutely cannot take care of them anymore, which is kind of the point I got to with the shop. I reached a point where I couldn't take care of it anymore, and I was depending on hiring people to do it, and they were not doing it adequately. So that was the point where it became clear I really needed to move on. I really needed to get out of the shop and to do something else that was more attuned with my reduced activity and energy level. So, it's got everything to do with you, everything to do with the hobbyist. So what you can handle given all the other activities in your life, given everything else that you're involved in. What can you do that is not going to detract from your family, but will add to the quality of life in your home and in your family? That's not going to take away from whatever your job is or your primary mode of income. You know, it's too much when it gets to be too much. And it can get to be too much. And that's the point where you back down to a level that makes more sense. And what that might mean is rethinking the kind of fish you want to keep. Because, you know, we tend to want to be eclectic. We tend to want to have a whole wide variety of things, but sometimes that's not practical. Sometimes what's practical is really focusing maybe on one genus of fish. Focus on killifish, for example. Focus on guppies. Focus on something bettas that really excites you, that keeps your inspiration level up. You know, kind of go at it that way, and try to define your hobby. Don't let it define you. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you go at it with a plan, with a sense of what you're trying to achieve, if you're in control and you're doing this as an expression of your concept, your idea, your experience, your desires and interests, then it's going to satisfy you personally. If you simply start grabbing and throwing things together, it'll overwhelm you, and you will lose heart. You will lose the excitement level you've had. So try to develop a plan. Try to get a sense of what is it I really want to do in this hobby or with this hobby. What really excites me, interests me? What do I want to focus on? And it doesn't have to be forever. It might be a 5-year plan. I know any number of people who have done that. They'll focus on one thing for several years until they feel as though they've really accomplished that and gotten to where they want to be. And then they'll move on to something else. So try to take that kind of more managed approach, and it'll make it a lot happier for you. Hi, Richie. Nice to see you, Richie. Tam Shepard. Hi, Tam. Nate. Hello, Nate. Yeah, Jane, you're planning on a new cap of sand over the old dirt. That's perfect. That'll work just fine. HP. Hey, HP. Tommy Denda. Hello, Tommy Denda. Nice to see you. Maple Strait. I love Maple Strait. Anyone who has not seen Maple Strait Aquatics, you need to check out their channel. Somebody post the link for them. They have probably the most sophisticated and extensive collection of native fish that anybody I know has. They also have tropicals, but a really stupendous collection of native fish. And they're in, is it Indiana? I don't remember. You're in Indiana, I think, aren't you? And it's all fish native to their environment. So they're going out collecting them. Absolutely wonderful. Great channel, great people. Plug in and check it out. Zachary just started a 20-gallon wall stand. Any additional device? Well, I'm going to give you, Zachary, a blue wrench. Turn you blue. And my advice to you is keep coming back, because this will be a great opportunity for you to learn as you go along. One other thing I do want to suggest, we have a Discord channel that's connected with the YouTube channel. If you are a member, you can go onto the Discord and be able to post pictures, videos, links, and so forth. You can go on not being a member, um, but we try to control it a little bit so that those who are supporting the channel are deriving the greatest benefit from it. But go on over. There are so many people on the Discord channel who are really valuable people to know, um, who are there to help and will help. It's a real community that's developing over there that I'm very proud of and am very, very supportive of. So check it out. The link for Discord will be posted here momentarily. It's also on the channel page under community, I believe. Galicia, it rained all day yesterday. It was a steady 57, little chill, perfect conditions for the spotted salamander move into the vernal ponds. And sure enough, about midnight, I counted over 20 crawling on the road. Wow. I have seen that. That is stupendous. The spotted salamander, also called, yeah, I assume it's the same one, the tiger salamander, is 6 to 8 inches long. Generally black with spots or stripes or whatever. And they're spawning right now. Try to collect some eggs. The eggs are really fun to hatch and not difficult to feed the babies. Guppy grass. Let me back up. Let's see. I want to get back to that. Oh goodness, Markio 306 just gave us a super chat. See if I can find it here. There it is. With a question, Father Fish, your live streams are awesome and only getting better. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, skills, and your incredible stories. Thank you, Marky. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Now, I did want to get back to the salamander so I don't lose track. There it is. Okay. Hannah Robinson. Father Fish, I've got a problem. New German blue rams, all with clamp fins, twitching, flashing. I use Prazopo. Also have them bloodworms marinated in it, no improvement. What's your temperature, Hannah? Your temperature needs to be at 88 degrees. Kick that temperature way up. If they're flashing, they probably have ick. That would be twitching as well. Kick the temperature up. You can use the Prazopro again. The critical thing, also stop feeding until you get this dealt with. They're not going to want to eat much anyway, but get your temperature up. Grow hat. I hadn't cleaned the filter floss in my canister for a few months. Maybe that's why my fish were itching. No, not likely. If they were scratching, they have ick. That's almost absolutely the case. You need to increase temperature to 87, 88 degrees. Get it up above 85. Ashu Chala is here. Hello, Ashu. Dicko says, it's too big when it's no longer financially sustainable. Well, that's a reality, isn't it? Sure enough. Although we try to beat that back here. We try to help you find ways to do your hobby without spending large amounts of money, keeping it affordable and keeping the budget down low. You can do that if you work at it. Guppy grass, when you convert your bed to a fish tank, stand and start sleeping on the floor. Vertical surface, horizontal surfaces. There you go. When the bed becomes a horizontal surface, then you know you're in trouble. I would agree with that. I think that's excellent. When you start thinking about maybe I could put a tank on one side of my bed, if I just put a board on it, it would be stable. Yep, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. That's over the line. Absolutely. Zachary just got my second. Wish you luck. You betcha. 2 is good. 3 is better. 10 is on the way. 100 tanks, Alexander says. I would love it. It was great fun. I was really enjoying it. I was doing online sales through Aquabid primarily. So it was paying for itself. And I was not working full time. I had a part-time job. So it worked out really well. And was something I enjoyed enough that when I got the opportunity to be able to move into a shop, I jumped at it. When there's no room to get around, well, that's true too, isn't it? Too many tanks when you can't feed yourself and the tanks at the same time. Yeah, that kind of gets back to the economic argument. When it gets to be a financial burden, then you've overdone it. Unless you're looking for ways to be able to make money at it. But you got to be able to do that. It's easy to make money in this business on paper. It's quite another to actually put money in the bank. It's a very, very, very difficult business to make money at it. Generally, it takes a lot of money to make money. You need big investments to be able to do that successfully. Used to be different. Used to be very different. But it's really not that way anymore. What's my favorite tank size? Oh, my favorite tank size. That's a good question. I like probably my favorite tank is the 40-gallon breeder. I like the depth. I like the width. It's 3 foot, 18 inches, and about 12 inches tall. It's a tank you can do a lot with. Now mine's a mess right now because I've been rooting around in it. I'll have to show you this mess today, trying to catch pygmy sunfish. I put 20 of them in there. I've managed to catch 6. And it took me more than an hour to get those 6. So I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm going to have to go out and do some more collecting and then reorganize myself with that tank. It's a tank that it's going to be too difficult catching that fish in. I did pretty well in this one. I got 18 out of there. I put 18 in. So that I've managed to be able to handle. They really are a disaster now because I pulled plants up and stirred them up and they're just a mess. So it's going to take a while for all that to settle down. Let's see. Yeah, Xanadu, how many you want and can manage? Healthy, happy fish. Right. Ren LaRue, we got her 30 long set up. Looks really nice. Added new sand and old sand. Our other tank, the Gourami, went on a murderous rampage and killed everything. So I won't need a second 30 long anymore. Oh dear. Well, you'll use it for something, Ren. Just not murderous Gouramis. Guppy grass, awesome. Zachary. Ren's frustrated with the Gourami. They are very frustrating. I don't like them. I don't like the big gouramis. Now I've raised some of the ones that get real big. The Osphronemus, is that right? I can't remember the name. Yeah, Osphronemus. They get big, 2 foot. I've done those. That's a different kind of thing, though. That's really a monster fish. Gouramis like the snakeskin gourami, the blue gourami. They're real aggressive fish. If you're going to do them, you need to keep them in a colony, like 3 or 4 in a tank, one male and a couple of females. And that'll generally work out pretty well. And they might even breed. They're bred in ponds. They do best outdoors in a pond. If you have a way to do that, that's really what's ideal for them. David Piper just finished his angel tank, loves the results, just needs more plants. Let's see, we're at 9:16. I want to go down. We've got 61 watching and 39 thumbs up. Let's hit the thumbs up button, guys. We're 40 short, 20 short. We've got 40 on, 60 in, 20 short. Let's see if we can catch up. 9:15. Let me get back to where I was. Susan's leaving. Thank you, Susan. Take care. One Wanderer. Hello, One Wanderer. Nice to see you. Ren, Guppy Grass, Sanadu, Rohan, David Piper. Just finished my angel tank. Just need more plants. Wonderful. HB says, yeah, not have more animals than you can take care of. Well, that's right. And that's real. Chevy Guppy, Maple, Canistio. I found that the fish room has its own ebb and flow. I move different ages of fish as they grow and the tanks change. Sometimes I'm added, sometimes I'm breaking tanks down. Oh, that's absolutely right. None of them really stay the same. You may have a tank that lasts a long time, but it'll have a lot of different occupants over the years. Graham Fishkeeper, hello, hello. Nice to see you. Zachary Grilla. Let me give you. I thought was that Grant? Who was that? I just gave a wrench to. Well, Zachary now has a wrench. Hang in there with it, Zachary. One Fishy Dude, hello, hello. Indiana, thank you. Maple Street. HB, hello to you. Great to be with you. Tisha, hi Tisha. Nice to see you this morning. Good morning to you. Tommy Dendo, hi Fatherfish. I bought most of the supplements for my substrate today. I'm adding clay minerals, kelp, vermicompost, basalt flour, lava rock flour, and shellage for humic and fulvic acid. Got some sea sand. Sounds perfect, Tommy. That will be exciting. So you just keep us posted as you get along. Rowan said earlier on it was big fish for me. Now it's little ones. Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat too. I've got a smaller setup now, so I can't do the big fish that I've done before. Tommy Denda, can the sand be too fine grained? No, it really cannot. Sand to sand, it's going to be able, because sand does not compact, water can flow through it. And that's really the key. And the bacteria and other microscopic life is much finer. What some people have done is do a fine layer and then a coarser layer, and then maybe even top it off with a small, like a river rock gravel, so you can kind of layer it. Guppy Grass, taking it slow since I'm not married yet. 5 months till I tie the knot. Well, all right. Paul C. Hello, Paul C. Nice to see you. Skybless, have ever tried fluidized sand as a main biofilter? I have, and I like it. Um, what I've found with the deep sand bed is that it precludes the necessity for much of anything else. The fluidized sand bed is really helpful if there is a very high level of fish in the tank. In other words, if it's producing a lot of nitrates, then that fluidized bed will be able to deal with it because it'll build up a really strong nitrification process. A lot of the big wholesaler use fluidized beds because it really does a good job of purifying the water, and is especially helpful if there's a really high level of fish in the tank or tanks. Chevy Fish says yes, Discord is 24/7. That's right, it's there all the time, and there's always somebody there. I've never been on when nobody was around. Canistio uses a very fine sugar sand in his Shelly tank. Or Dunlap, Zachary Grella, try a variety of plants to see what works for you. That's my advice. Your mileage may vary, but I doubt it. Yeah, good advice for Dunlap. It depends what's going to work for you. Some plants do well, others don't. Start with a variety and see what works well. See what grows for you. Don't assume that you can grow anything. You can't. The light conditions are going to vary. Water conditions are going to vary. Temperature, the environment, everything. So some things will do well and some things won't. The trick is to find what does well for you. Tommy Denda just gave us a super chat. I can go back and there it is right there. Thank you, Tommy. How come there's so much calcium in the substrate? Well, because you put it there, you can vary that. I mean, that's really up to you as to how much you want to put in. Calcium is something that does get used up. So it's helpful to have it there. And keep in mind, when you put these minerals in the substrate, they're staying down there in the bottom. They're not all getting used up all at once. They're coming out slowly as the plant roots kind of suck them out and use them. So it's a kind of a built-in storehouse, if you will. Fishing tactics. The bubbles from a dirt tank will release toxic bubbles, killing your fish. Fishing. Shame on you. It's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. What are you talking about? What? What? What's that go back to? Xanadu uses pool filtered sand from a local hardware store. Pool supply stores sell that sand too. Duco is saying female Grammys tend to be less aggressive. She bullies the mystery snails. Oh well. Honey Grammy. Graham likes honey Grammys. Nice fish. I do too. Sue Ann Campbell. Hello, Sue Ann. Nice to see you. Recommendation for cheap sand. Yes, go out and collect it. You get a sand out of a stream bed, a river bed perhaps, a beach, even sand, if you can find it, a sand strata in your backyard. Wherever you can find sand. You can rinse it to rinse the dirt out of it. But generally, if you can find sand in a stream, it'll be really good and free. Derek Thompson, you inspired me to start my own 40-gallon dirted for my cobra guppies and female petits. Aside from the nitrogen bubbles, it's been a very healthy and balanced ecosystem. I admire and appreciate you. Well, thank you, Derek, very much. And for that, you get a wrench. And the bubbles thing, yeah, it's nitrogen. It's not toxic. It's the most plentiful gas on planet Earth. Let's see. Randomly, we started moving angels and so forth into the 30 long. I tried to move the daddios and said, screw it. They can stay in the old tank. The solution is a big net, like at least a 10-inch net. You need a big, if I got one here, here's one, like that, a big net. If you use a big net, you can catch those suckers, but you don't need to chase them around. You just kind of trap them with it. James Handy. When I was a kid, I slept on the floor sometimes. Now it hurts and I can't get up. Ward Dunlop said, my bathroom tank irks my wife. She mentions it daily. She could use the bathroom at the corner. Oh dear. She don't like your bathroom tank. Well, if it's sitting in the shower, that might be a problem. Where do you have your bathroom tank? Ward Dunlop. And I'm assuming that corner gas station is less than a block away. I would not dare put my wife through a bathroom rigor that would require her going further than a block away from the home in order to pee. Guppy grass, my purple hippo and scarlet temple slowly died. Not buying those again. Guppy grass grows like crazy. Well, there you go. Paul C. says resurrection jar was cheap. You betcha. If you do it right, it's free. Chevy fish. Oh, here we go. One tank is just as good as 10 or 100, as long as you're able to happily take care of them properly. This from a woman who probably has 100 tanks, or at least 50. But they're all in excellent condition. I am absolutely certain. One of these days, Chevy, you need to show us some of your tanks. Word Dunlap, at times it can seem inexplicable, but it's a good practice. Well, now, I don't know what he's referring to. Need to get back and find out. I'm going backwards, which is never a good idea. All right, I think I may have gotten back to where I was. Yum is here. Exhibit Yum. Hello, hello. I think so. Nearly. Oh. Well, not really. Here's that a dude talking about tank sizes. Loves a 75, planning on a 125. Shorty short, if I have high nitrates in my fish tank and do a big water change, it seems like I go through what they call old tank syndrome. Been set up for 6 months, just gravel. I use half tap and half IR. Yeah, you're going to have that with gravel. You won't have it with dirt, with a dirted, sand-capped dirted substrate. You won't get that old tank syndrome. Is 82 too warm for zebras? No, but 85 would be. 82 is not too warm. Let's see. I think I got back. Yes, I did. We're going to go back down here a little bit and see if we can get going in the right direction. Red LaRue emailed me a picture of the new 30L. Let me see if I can get over to my email. We'll see if I can find it. Zachary says y'all are amazing. Zachary, we need to give you a wrench so you can be part of the amazement. Okay. We got back to Tommy Denda's gift. Thank you, Tommy, so much. Stores should tell people what the cute little fish become. Yeah, you bet. A lot of them don't know, though, which is the problem. If you're buying fish in a big box store, they may not have any idea what that fish will get to. Zachary, 50-pound bag of sand. Well, that's right. And that's the way to do it. Fishing tactics. James Handy. I had a Dustin fan tell me that and got me kicked off for not believing it. I thought that might be coming from such a place. Yeah, Dustin knows better. Ren loves the Discord. It is wonderful. It really is wonderful. Guppy grass. I bought an assassin snail and it killed them all. Also, I heard putting a leaf of lettuce overnight attracts a lot of them. Certainly does. Makes it easy to get them out too. Fishing. That's what I thought because Dustin and Fatherfish are cool. Two chicks ganged up on me. Wasn't even supposed to answer a question. It's the dirt police. The dirt police. What you need to do is laugh at them for being twits because they just don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to make themselves look important and imperious, and they're utter twits. Exhibit Yum. I've got a resurrection filter. Made it out of a baby bottle in my betta tank. Been there for months and he's so happy. Cute idea. Very nice. Let's see. Zachary. Going after snails. Guppy grass. This says, I think you may be overfeeding Zachary. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but if you got too many snails, it's because there's too much of something else in there that's causing the snails to prosper. Probably too much food. Almost, absolutely, definitely too much food. You want to control the snails? Right now they're saving your butt from the tank crashing. Don't try to kill them off. Try to control them by reducing the amount of nutrition in your tank. Ren says, my pearl danios are spastic. They cause chaos. I think I'll keep the schooling fish together. That's a good idea. That works well. Aquatic nests. Hello, aquatic nests. I saw Maple in here earlier. That's a husband and wife team, for those of you who don't know. Let's see. Susan Sunset Jen. I don't know what she's talking about. Alexander. You're watching him now. Don't know what that's referring to. Saying, do the Easter challenge. If you see what I have in my tub, been going for a few months, you'll understand more how life comes from dirt. Absolutely. That's really the key. The secret The secret for doing the resurrection tank, resurrection bowl, resurrection jar, whatever you're going to use, is to recognize that life depends on death. Living things depend on dying things. If things don't die, nothing can live. Life has to feed on that which has died. So that which has died needs to be treated with the respect that it's due, which is to say, the malm in your tank is the foundation of life in that environment because it's providing all of the nutrition that was once a living organism or variety of organisms now breaking down and continuing to provide nutrition to the living organisms. Could you put a small frog in the tank to control snail population? Tommy Denda says, no, frogs are not going to eat snails. I mean, they may eat a few, but it's not high on their diet. They're more an insectivore. Red LaRue's talking about making a river tank. Yeah, check out Maple Street there. They've got a really nice system for building river tanks. Frogs eat fish too. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Gourami killed my twig catfish. Yeah, gouramis are mean little buggers. A river tank I'd love to do with these are leopard danios fishing. Remind me more of a cheap trout. If it was up to me, CPD would be my thing. Yeah, they are, aren't they? And they act like a trout too. They're pretty cool. Anyone know anything about hairy puffers? Duco says. Not me. Spiny box. I don't know about hairy puffers. Freaky fish lady. Can't wait to do that. Gotta go to DR today. Probably have time to run to creek after that. Who am I kidding? I always have time to run to the creek. All right. We got another resurrection tank going. Dynamite. Hello, Dennis Lord. Nice to see you. Xanadu, mimic Mother Nature and watch Father Fish to build a balanced aquarium. There you go. Tommy Denda, is this food web correct? Let's see what he's talking about. Oh, I don't know. Probably food web. Yeah, it's not aquatic particularly. I have a hard time seeing it. Anything like that's going to be helpful. Tommy is such a researcher. He gets into all this stuff. John Steve Francis. Hello. Nice to see you. Where Deadlap says he ate a lot of snails in Greece. And I'm sure you were the one who was overfed. Hope you got a good night's rest, HB says to Sunset. Get in the creek, Aquatic Nest says. You betcha. And Ren wants to know if hairy puffers need a hairbrush. Maybe a comb, I don't know. Found a crawfish yesterday, taking a walk in 50 degrees weather. Fishing tactics. Let's see, Duco, you should mention the streams more on your videos. Streams are an absolutely wonderful source of all kinds of things for your fish tank. Animal life, little fish, invertebrates, all kinds of invertebrates, as well as hardscape, rocks, driftwood, sand. If you dig down in it, you'll get a richer substrate that can use in your tank as a substrate. I mean, streams are wonderful. Streams have so much life in them, and are such beautiful, and they come in all varieties. The place where I've been catching the pygmy sunfish, it, it, it would be hard to define it as a stream, but it really is, because it's water that's flowing on the surface out of it's spring fed. There's a spring that's running down the side of the road, very slowly but clearly running. I'll try to get some video of it. I'm going to have to go back now again, and get some more of these guys. Try to do it, and I don't know when I'm going to do it. I don't know when. Oy, maybe Wednesday. Anyway, yes, streams. If you got a stream near you, get in it. Check it out. You'll be amazed. World Aquarium Singapore. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. And you've been here before. I need to give you a wrench. Sunset Jen says, thanks, chickadee. Chevy fish. Bennett Springs has 10,000 gallons an hour pumped in from a natural spring. Stays a certain temperature. Full of life. Wow. Wow. That's a river. That's amazing. Huge amount of water. Yes, I just did that, Chevy. I just gave World Aquarium a wrench. Should show up quickly here. Am I at the bottom? I don't believe it. I am. Let me back up a little. See what I've missed. I don't think much. Okay. Yeah, what you might do, Exhibit Yum, is take your gourami, unless you're in love with them, take them back to the shop where you got them. What else? I think I got it all. If I have missed the comment, I'm down at the bottom. Please repost so I can pick it up. I'm not going to go back at this point. It took me too long to get here. So if I've missed a comment or something you'd like me to comment on, please do repost. I'll be happy to do that. Duco says, is a protein skimmer necessary for a saltwater tank? No. If you have a deep substrate and if you're raising corals, the corals have algae living in them that requires the nutrients that the protein skimmer removes. Now, if you're getting way too much, if you're getting a lot of algae buildup, excuse me. If you're getting an algae buildup, then you may need to cut back on light, or you may need to do water changes. Probably you need to reduce feeding, but that would be because there are too many nitrates or phosphates in the water. That you control. So you want to get hold of that, but corals, the coral breeders I know all have deep substrates. The ones whose systems I'm familiar with, and they do not use protein skimmers. If they start getting algae, they may hook one up to control that to reduce nitrates. But generally speaking, you don't want to be pulling out of the water column the very nutrients that the corals need in order to be able to survive, in addition to which, in a deep substrate, it controls that a lot better. World Aquarium, what's a spanner? Well, it simply makes you a member of the club. You're, you're now a member in good standing. You bet. Means you have moderator privileges. Yes, it does, absolutely. Zachary, why does everyone hate sunlight for their plants? Wouldn't the algae be beneficial? Yeah, absolutely. And I love sunlight on my tanks. I can't get enough of it. And I never seem to be able to get in a situation where I really can get sunlight on my tanks. But yes, absolutely. I think it's highly desirable and something that that you really ought to try to find a way to achieve. It will grow plants well, and if your nitrates are under control, you're not going to get an algae problem. You'll simply get more plant growth. Plants do a better job of taking up light and nutrients than algae does, so they're always going to get it first. It's if there's more that they need that then you begin to have algae problems. Are you ever going to stream on Twitch? It's a huge platform specifically designed for streaming. Don't know a thing about it, Tuco. We need to get Naresh to check out Twitch for us and see what he can find out. I don't know what it is, how to get on it. Can we do it simultaneously? Can we get on there as well as on YouTube? Is that something that's doable? I know we can stream on Discord. I haven't taken the time to figure out how to do it yet, but I've watched a couple of streamers who are doing it. James says, my son loves the sunlight. He has 3 tanks in front of a window. It makes the fish colors come alive, and it really is great for the plants. Yeah, the fish and plants love it. They absolutely do. They sparkle. There it is. Xanadu. Love the way my tetras sparkle in real sunlight in the afternoon. You betcha. It is really, really special. And a lot of these fish colors are sunlight dependent. So you don't really see the full color spectrum of the fish unless they are in sunlight. Oh. Coffee. Hello, coffee. Oh, excuse me. That's what I need, coffee. We have 64 watching and 55 thumbs up. Doing pretty well. We're 9 short. Oh, click the thumbs up, guys. Let's see. Zachary, the sun makes everything better. Yes. Oh, OBS. It's a software one for streaming on Twitch. I have OBS downloaded. I've struggled with it once or twice. I need to master it in order to be able to expand the stream. I'm just going to have to get over there and work on it and do it. Naresh, why don't you take a look at OBS and see if it's something that you can figure out as well. Fish do absolutely enjoy sunlight. John St. Francis. And John, we're going to give you a wrench because you're such a sweet guy. We appreciate you. Freaky Fish Lady says my 3 tanks that are in front of windows do so good plant-wise, and the fish like to play in the sun rays. There you go. This is all the coffee I got left. I ran out. I got half a cup of cold coffee here. Have I ever used LED floodlights to grow plants? No, the best I've done is, I don't know if I can pick this up. Oh, how did I do that? Let me get back here. I've got a light here. I don't know if I can show it to you. I've used these, which put out a lot of light. I mean, they're pretty good. They're not terribly expensive. I've gotten them online. But I've not used the floodlights. Rohan, sunlight for vitamin D. Probably the fish like it too. I'm sure of it. Dicko's offering Naresh help with Twitch. 4-day-old coffee. Well, if it's refrigerated, it'd be all right. 4-day-old coffee sitting in the pot is going to be full of fungus. It's going to be inedible. A hydroponic LED grow light. Yes, it is. It's exactly what it is. Used LED were Dunlap floods to grow plants, and it worked. They were used to spotlight plants and needed more light than average. Yep, you can do it. The more light, the better, generally. You're never going to duplicate the sun. Or Dunlop thinks Amazon owns Twitch. Don't know about that. Marky says my fish enjoy sunrise. I'll bet they do. That's kind of a, coming back to life from being in the dark. I need a coffee thermos. I do. That's a good idea, actually. I think I'll do that. Marshy Duro do a great one. Model 1000 is waterproof. Better than most high-end fish lights and dimmers. I will look into that. Let me make a note. Marshy Duro. Note to self. Marshy Duro light. 1K. I'm at the bottom again. Again, if I am at the bottom of the chat. If I missed a comment, please retype it or copy and paste it. Put it in again so I can get to it. I'm not going to go back because I get lost when I go back. Once I get to the bottom, I like to try to stay there. Doesn't seem to last long, but nevertheless. Aquatic nest. You can tell the difference in color after the fish have been in the ponds over the summer and bring them in for the winter. You betcha. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The sunlight works wonders for plants and fish. Black sands If you get substrate underwater from a clean creek outside your house, how do you know you're not introducing parasites into your tank that might kill your fish or shrimp? Look and see. They're not invisible. If anything that's going to kill fish is going to be big enough to see, like a dragonfly larvae, you're not going to get bacteria that will cause that problem. If you're concerned about it, put it in a separate container for a week or two before you introduce it. But generally speaking, I've been doing this for 70 years. I don't think I have ever once brought a bacteria into my tanks from the wild that caused any kinds of problems. The problem is not the types of bacteria, it's the lack of variety. One bacteria can take over a tank if there are not other bacteria in there controlling them. So the more you have, the better. Duco says it's too cold for wild collecting yet in the Netherlands. Should be coming up soon though. Won't be long. Duco, could I collect cold water plants from a local stream? And would they grow in a tropical tank? Generally, yes. There are cases where they won't, but try it and see. Generally, they do. Coffee, when I had my koi pond, I used to love seeing the dragonflies. It's like the biggest compliment that your water is great. The downside, though, is the larvae. Yeah, you betcha. True enough. Quite right. Black Sands, give it a try. Do the resurrection tank or the resurrection bowl. Put a handful of mud in a container and set it on the ledge with water in it, and just watch it for a while, and see what happens in there. You will be amazed. Excuse me. Thank you, Chevy, for all the postings. Appreciate it. Vip and Barol just replied in notifications, thanking me for my response in the forum. He said you understood that Danios are not bottom feeders and require more feeding, and that are the exception for less feed. Yeah, well done, Vipin. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? I'm going to draw a line in the sand here. We're kind of run out of ideas. Says HB says there's a bunch of dragonflies in Florida, at least West Central. Yeah, you bet there are. They are all over. Black Sands, thank you for selling the substrate additive. Cheaper and more efficient to buy it that way. Well, thank you. Happy to do so. Let's see if I can find. You know what? I was playing tunes, and I barely didn't leave it on. That would have maybe been helpful. All right, let me try to get some music here. This is not what I had in mind, but want to get to Naresh's gift to the channel. Yep, music of fatherfish. There we go. I've got some really fun German language and French language music on my music of fatherfish. You might take a look at, those of you who are in the Netherlands or Germany or wherever. I think it's something you'll enjoy. So here we are. Nice to be with you all today. Have a wonderful day. You're very welcome, Ropa. I do go. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Good to be with you. We'll be here tomorrow morning. That's my mother, by the way. Bye-bye. Bless you all. See you tomorrow morning. There's a feeling I'm in my mind, but I never